I, 28/M, got beat up in front of my 29/F, G/F. First of all, quit the what ifs. They're not helping you. If you had left earlier, you might have seen him walking towards you from the opposite direction of the park. If you had ignored him, he might have become more violent. There is no way to tell whether the situation would have turned out for the better if you'd done anything different. All victims get these what ifs. It's you trying to fix a problem that cannot be fixed. Since it's in the past, you can't change the past. But you can change how you feel about it now. Getting your kicked isn't the end of the world. It feels humiliating, and I can understand that you feel inadequate. But if you beaten him up, your girlfriend would still feel the same. She probably thinks that you are her hero because you defended her. You stood up for her. And you were even willing to fight for her. You cannot comprehend how much that means for victims. It doesn't matter to her that you lost the fight. You were willing to start it. Drunk guys also have incredible strength. There's a reason why my hospital makes sure all the drunks are escorted by security and restraints are nearby. These guys can overpower you way easier than you'd think. You are not inadequate for getting beaten. I suggest you take some therapy sessions too. It might help you change how you feel about the past. Remember, you can't change the past. Only how you feel about it. Maybe it's a good idea to take a self-defense class with your girlfriend. I found that upped my self-esteem and confidence a lot. Even when I don't technically have to defend myself. Don't blame yourself. You did everything you could. And I think you're her hero right now. Even if she doesn't tell you. This needs to be on top. I used to think I was unstoppable till I did boxing/karate, and let me tell you. You learn quick there is someone always better and stronger. Believe me, you won that fight. You got your points by protecting who you love. And guess what? You are still alive and kicking for another match. Do consider some self-defense courses, MMA, boxing, BJJ, and be supportive for your girl. Keep your head up. Getting your kicked is still supporting your GF. Whether you kicked his or got your kicked, the situation would still have been the same trauma for her. You're dealing with your own trauma of getting your kicked and not feeling secure enough in your manhood. Deal with yourself first. Get over it. Then be ready to support your GF the way she needs it. Nothing you would have done that day would have changed the way she felt. Until you realize this, you'll be stuck in the same endless cycle. Definitely this, Opus. Even if my fiancé got his handed to him trying to defend me, I wouldn't give two damns, because the point is he put his own safety on the line to protect mine. You didn't care what the outcome was. And you didn't fight him to prove your worth to her, or feed your ego, and prove you could kick his ass. You did it to help her when she was in danger. Like a true gentleman. Well done. If I were your girlfriend, I would be incredibly proud and grateful. Exactly. As a woman reading this story, what shines through is your concern for your GF and her well-being. Opus. You might have gotten knocked down, but that only happened because you stood up. You done good. I hope you're okay and that you're able to heal inside and out. These comments are very warming as a guy. I don't plan on getting my kicked. But if it happens, it's good to know that me trying to help is worth it. Win, lose or draw, you still stood tall for her. That should be enough. Exactly. I had an ex who wouldn't even care when these things happened to me. I broke up with him in hope of finding someone like you. Opus. Don't second guess it. Get medical help and be there for your girlfriend. But good for you. Fucking savage. Thanks for standing up for your partner. Hot. This should be higher up. My BF would be my hero if this happened. I'd know for sure I had a keeper. How hot is that? That your man is willing to throw down for you? Your feelings are totally valid. But I would encourage you to imagine a good friend of yours told you this happened to them. Would you tell him he'd been emasculated? What would you say to him? I applaud you for intervening. That was very brave. Your girlfriend is very lucky to have you. I would encourage you to imagine a good friend. If yours told you this happened to them, this is the best way to practice self-compassion. You both are victims, you both have to support each other, and you her should find some therapy and some couples therapy. So she can bring people together. If unlike Sashi, the fact you tried is enough. You should be proud of yourself. Most dudes nowadays wouldn't have done shit. Go take boxing or jujitsu. You should be proud of yourself. Most dudes nowadays wouldn't have done shit. TBH, this is one situation where it's best to take pride out of their equation. Any decent dude would want to protect their GF in this situation. But in most cases that involves just walking away from the situation if possible, and then reporting the case to the police. Life is not some western flick. Yes, it seems manly and chivalrous to try to confront the douchebag in this situation. But at what cost? If it's some random guy, there is probably close to a 50/50 chance the fight won't go your way, and what if that only makes the guy escalate even more? There is also a very real risk that a lowlife like that can be armed. Is it really worth it to risk both of your lives just to prove something? Yup. Judging by these comments, a lot of sheltered folks, or maybe younger, are all about this. Hell yeah. Stand up to the bad guy. Hell yeah. Kick his ass. Make him say sorry. And live happily ever after. Nope. Nada. Never. And I mean, if you value your life and the lives of others, ever escalate situations like this, it was the wrong call to make. The pride hit sucks. Sure. But all it takes is one wrong move and entire lives can be ruined. Let's say he does hit the guy with an amazing punch. Perfectly executed. And he gets knocked the F out. Woo. Big man. Well. The guy falls and cracks his skull on the ground. Boom. Instant death. Now you're looking at a minimum of manslaughter charges. Or let's say he does land a great punch. The guy backs down. Everyone's happy. Right? Well, let's say that drunk dude has some buddies and they're just waiting for you to get ready to leave to jump your in the parking lot. They'll beat the ever-living s out of you. There are no rules in a street fight. No amount of training or preparation can protect you. Or the dude has a knife or a gun. Decides to use it later. What self-defense is there for a bullet hole in the gut? People love the movies and gobble stuff like this up. But in the real world this ends badly. You never escalate. Ever. The people who have learned this lesson paid for it dearly. Well, there are a lot of things at play here. Your feelings of getting beat up and her feelings of being attacked. The fact that you tried to do something should be a good point to remember. Is not like you ran through your GF. Not like you pretended not to be there and not like you abandoned her. So think about that part. Now if your GF feels you can't protect her and feels insecure with you, then that's something she has to figure out. There are a few possibilities to improve your self-confidence. You can take up self-defense classes. Take up bodybuilding to develop strength, and of course you can take precautions of areas to avoid at night. I have been in situations where I ask my wife to stay in the car and keep the doors locked, and I venture to the store or place to lower risks for her. Ultimately, the man's role is to protect and attempt to protect to the best of your ability. If the drunk man had a gun and shot you as you shielded your GF, that's the attempt. You can't stop a bullet, but you tried to protect. //. Now if your GF feels you can't protect her and feels insecure with you, then that's something she has to figure out. That's what I'm afraid of. I'll lay it out now. My girlfriend has not had an easy life. Her father abused her and then tossed her to the streets once she got mature. She was homeless and had to prostitute herself for many years. She was gang raped a few years ago and left for dead. She lives with her sister. I moved in with them. She still has to have intense therapy sessions, and we didn't even start having sex till about a few months ago. So yes, she has a lot of trauma. I love her regardless and attempt to help her. I want to marry her. Start a family. I'm scared she will feel me unable to protect her. Her sister blames me and thinks I'm worthless. Even if I had the best intentions, the fact is she is traumatized still, and this did her no favors. I ignored her protests to go home. I left her alone while I used the RR. I couldn't have just waited till we got home. All I can say is you can't change the past and the events that lead to this moment. Perhaps you too need therapy to get over your issues of insecurity and self-worth. It is meaningless to ponder on the what-ifs of the past, since there is nothing you can do about it. It sounds like you need to be independent as well to grow, since you live with her sister. As long as you live under someone else's roof, but your own, then you give up a few rights and subject yourself to the person that pays the rent or mortgage. The fact that you are willfully chose your so. Knowing her issues and past does not give you a pass for self-pity, since you signed up for this task. If you are scared, if she leaves you, then you need to develop some self-love, dude. Self-respect. You can't truly love anyone without loving yourself and respecting yourself. You did not raise her nor abused her. You are a passenger in the train of life like everyone else, and you met her and got to know her. Get help from a professional, discuss your issues, as you may get lost in your emotions in the present and end up regretting your future tomorrow when you wake up. Yikes. Either just walk away next time, or learn to fight. Very shitty situation permanently stuck in your memories now. Or life just taught you what you need to improve in your life. I basically just said that, but more specific. Learn to fight to improve chances of winning. Or just de-escalate the situation and leave. Both are much better alternatives to what happened, no?